Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today I'm doing a 3 looks 1 palette plus review with the Black Moon Urban Myth palette. Now if you aren't interested in hearing my review on this palette, skip to this timestamp right here, it will take you straight to look 1, but if you'd like to hear my review on this, then just keep on watching. This is what the outside of the Urban Myth palette looks like. It's got the nice Loch Ness monster right here. I really love this packaging, it's so pretty, and the design carries onto the back right here, which it has the list of the ingredients. And this is what the palette looks like on the inside. It is a 10-pan palette and there's 5 mattes and 5 metallics. Now the back of this palette says that there are 3 intense foils, 1 duochrome and 1 shimmer within the metallic shadows. However, I find that in my personal experience there's only 2 different formulas. I would call these 2 shades right here high shine metallics and then these 3 standard metallics. But like always, let's talk about the mattes first. I really love the shade Mothman right here. It was a big surprise to me because this looks so boring in the pan. It just looks like a beige. However, when you blend it into the crease, it kind of has a really strong green undertone. I can't really describe the colour of this, but in look 1 you see me blend it into my crease and it does deepen up and look a bit more green on the eyes. It doesn't really look beige. Crop circles and Bigfoot are very pigmented right off the bat. Because these 2 are super pigmented, you do have a little bit of fallout, which doesn't bother me too much. However, it's fallout that you cannot whisk away. These 3 mattes are creamy and blendable. However, I will say that Loch Ness and Chupacabra, they are more drier in formula. They do not pick up well on a finger at all. When you swatch these shades, they look like shit, I'm gonna be honest. Loch Ness, I find that you do have to build up to get the pigment. However, once you do build it up, it is there. And it performs very similarly to the other mattes, except it's a bit drier. However, Chupacabra in here it's not the best purple I've used. And since this has a blue undertone, it's even more difficult. And I do find that you do have to build this up quite a lot on the eyes. It does get there, but it's not going to be nearly as bright as the blue, the green, and the brown. I find I can only use this as a crease colour and then use Loch Ness to deepen it up, or even Bigfoot, because this is strictly just a light crease colour. It's a lot lighter on the eyes, it's not that deep. I did use it in look number 2, and yes, I did make it work. However, I don't really want to work that hard for my eyeshadows. It does get a little bit patchy, but thankfully because I cut my crease and I layered the blue on top, it was fine. Overall, I do really enjoy the matte formula in here, except for the purple. The mattes all worked really nicely. I didn't have any wearing issues, they didn't fade on my eyes or crease. If we were grading them, I would give them a B. Now the metallics in here are really nice. I really enjoy the metallics, especially Area 51 and Boogeyman. These are the high shine metallics that I fucking adore. They're really textured and flaky. They're very beautiful. You need to use a glitter glue with these ones though. I find even though you can make them work without a glitter glue, they do need a tacky base to stick onto. But they are very high shine and very beautiful. And also in this palette, I love for every matte there's a metallic to complement it. I really like the layout of this palette a lot. Now these metallics right here are just standard metallics. I know that Black Moon says that one's a shimmer and one's a duochrome, and one of these is supposedly a high shine, but I'd say they're all just standard metallics, which they do look very beautiful with a glitter glue because I always like to use glitter glue to make my shimmers even more impactful, but they are just standard metallics. They're nothing super out of the ordinary, but they are nice. They're creamy and they're very easy to work with. They do work very well with a wet brush and a finger. With a dry brush and no tacky base underneath, I find that these don't work as well. Now this palette is $38 US, which the price in pounds will be right here. And I will say for that price, I really enjoy this palette quite a lot. The colour story is pretty unique. I love the looks that I came out with it. I do recommend this palette. I'd say out of 10, I would rate this probably a 7 out of 10. It's nothing out of the ordinary, nothing super fantastic, but I do like the formula quite a lot. And I do love this colour story, it's very unique to my collection. I do wish that the purple was a better formula, and I do wish that these shades were just like these 2 up here. My camera battery died and I don't have time to charge it and refilm, but like I was saying, I like this palette. Like I mentioned, it's a 7 out of 10 for me. I do enjoy it, so if the colour story appeals to you and the theming and formula, then I'd say go ahead and buy it, but it's not one of those palettes that I would say, oh my god, you need this. But anyways, let's get on into the looks. This look I'm wearing right here is look number 3, so I hope you enjoyed the looks that I come out with this one. So first I'm going in with the shade Mothman and I'm putting that into my crease. I'm also going to be putting this on my lower lash line. I'm now taking the shade Crop Circles and deepening up the outer V. I'm now taking the NYX glitter glue and I'm just applying that with my finger on my lid. I'm taking the shade Boogeyman on the same finger and I'm going to be applying that over the top of the glitter glue. Also taking a bit of Boogeyman on a brush and putting that on the inner portion of my lower lash line. And then I'm applying the shade Area 51 into my inner corners. I'm putting Colourpop Teaspoon in my waterline, just a classic green shade. For blush, I'm using the matte side in the Cover FX Soft Peach Blush Duo. For my highlighter, I'm using Kaleidos Laser Glazer. For my lips, I'm using the Black Moon Liquid Lipstick in Cider. And that's the end of look number 1. First I'm going in with the shade Chupacabra and I'm putting that into my crease. You might see that I'm having a little bit of trouble working with this shade. I find that if you pack it on, it works a bit better, but it's kind of sheer, it takes a lot to build up. It's just not my favourite shade, and it can look a little bit grey. Now I'm taking the shade Loch Ness and I'm deepening up the outer V, and this shade I believe saves the look because it kind of covers up the patchiness that I'm experiencing and it deepens up the look really nicely. I do like the blue, it's just the fact that the purple is a bit crappy. I'm taking the NYX glitter glue on a flat brush and I am cutting my crease. I also extend the glitter glue into kind of like a liner? I don't know how to describe it, you can see it on the screen right here. I kind of extend it a bit to turn it into a bit like an accent liner. I'm now taking the shade Paranormal and I'm putting that on the outer half of my lid. Now I'm taking the shade Bermuda Triangle and putting that on the inner half of my lid. Now I'm taking the shade Area 51 and I'm putting that in my inner corners yet again. I love this shade for the inner corners, it's so sparkly and bright. For my waterline I'm using Colourpop Piggy Bank, this is a nice warm purple. For blush, I'm using the matte side in the Kaleidos Lo-Fi Rose Duo. For highlight, I'm using Kaleidos Moon Cruiser. This is a really nice purple sparkly highlighter. And finally, for my liquid lipstick, I'm using the Black Moon liquid lipstick in the shade Ashes. And that's the end of look number 2. First I'm going in with the shade Bigfoot, and I'm going to be using this to sketch out the shape that I'm going to be going for. So first I start from the outer corners of my lid and just go up towards my temples. And then I go from the middle of my lid and connect that to the wing. We're basically creating a negative space liner to start off with, and I find that going in little sections works the best, and then we're going to be filling out the outer corner of this wing. Now I'm using the NYX glitter glue and I'm going to be using a flat brush to cut my crease. Now I'm taking the shade Bloody Mary and I'm going to be putting that on top of where the NYX glitter glue is. This look is very easy to do since all you really have to do is just sketch out the shape and then fill in the excess. And to switch things up, we're using Paranormal in the inner corners just for a nice pop of purple. For blush, I'm using the Ingrid Cosmetics blush in the shade Carrot Cool. Also, I forgot to mention that I did add lashes. These are Wiki lashes in the style Ellie. For my highlighter, I'm using the Kaleidos Mars Melter. This is the original formula. And finally for lips, I'm using the Black Moon Sinister Satin lipstick in the shade Elm Street. And that's the end of look number 3. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing my review and seeing looks with this palette. I've noticed that not many people have done videos with the Urban Myth, so hopefully this was somewhat helpful to you. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, then follow me on my Instagram. It's Beauty by Skye right here. I post all of my looks there, sneak peeks to videos, and all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here, and as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!